ready to offer his help if needed. At this time, it turned out that the same angry guy from class was arguing with someone, and the situation looked tense and potentially dangerous. However, it turned out that it was Wolf, and the main character was familiar with his difficult character and tendency to conflict. The main character approached Wolf and asked what happened, showing interest in what caused the argument and conflict. The guy was asked to talk to his classmate, since he was closer to Wolf and might be able to calm the situation and find out what happened, since it was difficult to get information from Wolf due to his anger. The atmosphere was very tense and everyone around felt angry and dissatisfied, which created an unpleasant environment. After the man said that it was precisely because of such aggression that he hated the sphere of people, the guy flared up in rage as this hurt him and caused a wave of emotions. Rui intervened in the conversation and asked what had happened, revealing an interest in the conflict and a desire to resolve the situation. A classmate was accused of stealing goods from a man, and this became the cause of disagreement and conflict. The guy asked me to tell him, at least in general terms, what exactly happened, in order to understand the situation and possibly help resolve the conflict. The man began to say that a thief had entered his store, and he was sure that a classmate had stolen his goods, prompting these accusations. After he left, it became clear that the store window had been broken, adding an additional element of mystery to the situation. Immediately after calling the police, he himself decided to start a search, and his classmate actually had his stolen goods, which led to the resolution of the conflict and the restoration of justice. But the man didn't believe the guy could have done it alone and was confident he had help, leaving doubts about how exactly the item was returned. He wondered if this could really have been done by the guy alone, or if there were some hidden aspects to the story that he hadn't noticed. The boy often heard that beastmen were accused without good reason, and this made him worried that he might be caught and accused without providing evidence of his innocence. Then the main character decided that he would find the real thief in order to clear his name and provide evidence of his innocence, promoting justice in this difficult situation. However, these words did little to calm everyone down, and the tense atmosphere remained unchanged, highlighting the complexity of the situation. Rui asked if this classmate was running fast, trying to find some evidence that could confirm or refute his guilt. Then the main character decided to use magic to help solve this mysterious situation and find the real thief. He decided to use the smoke veil to create confusion and try to hide, perhaps giving himself extra time to think and act. It is clear that they immediately disappeared from the man's line of sight, leaving him in panic and bewilderment. They tried to leave the danger zone, and Rui led the guy towards safety to warn him about the possible consequences of theft and conflict. And the man could only think about where his classmates could have disappeared, leaving him in a state of confusion and unresolved questions. The man was understandably furious after such an act, and his feelings were so agitated that he could make rash decisions in an attempt to unravel this mysterious situation. He immediately began to get angry at the men standing next to him, because they could not prevent and did not see how his classmates ran away, which only increased his anger and disappointment. They could not understand what to do now, faced with growing chaos and unexpected developments. They decided that they just needed to ask the Academy for help, how to seek help from competent persons to solve riddles and solve difficult situations. One of them had to go ask for help, while the second began a search to deal with the situation as effectively as possible. All this time, classmates sat on the roof and watched everything that was happening, remaining in a safe place so as not to get into the center of the conflict. At such a dizzying pace, the protagonist, like an arrow, might even attract the attention of a local group of knights whose determination to hunt him would only increase the tense situation in which he finds himself. The guy did not fall into pessimism. On the contrary, his determination was at its best, and he strove to find the criminal as quickly as possible, filling himself with determination and hope. Wolf felt a little wary about this whole situation. He could not understand why the main characters got involved in this adventure, and a certainty arose in his mind that the mysterious individual they encountered was hiding some mysterious intentions. But the guy tirelessly and persistently began to convince Wolf of the opposite, revealing his motives and conviction that this adventure would lead to solving important mysteries and saving many lives. Since he considered his classmate his true friend, he decided to assist him in this difficult matter. The guy's reaction was extremely stunning, since he did not expect to hear such words at all and felt sincere gratitude. He could not understand how this happened, because every day he growled at him and expressed his dissatisfaction, and now they showed gratitude to him and were ready to help. However, he still couldn't figure out what the guy's true goal was. The main character, sharing his plan, invited his partner to go to where he discovered the mysterious bottle, assuring that this could give rise to new discoveries and reveal the key mysteries of this fascinating story. However, when they arrived at the indicated place, they discovered that there were no traces or evidence left there. The guy turned to the company with an enthusiastic look and politely asked to give him this beautifully decorated bottle of wine for a while, as if he had an important plan. After receiving the bottle, he began to use magical analysis, blindingly revealing its origin and centuries-old history, as if opening a gateway to unknown worlds. The main character enthusiastically admitted that the secrets of this magic were passed on to him by a close friend, whose wisdom came from ancient texts and mystical knowledge. Despite his passion and effort, he realized that his mastery of magic had not yet reached the heights his friend had reached, and that he still had a lot of study and practice ahead of him. The main character, through the magical atmosphere, suddenly discovered something and broke the silence, inviting the assembled company to go somewhere, as if expecting an important discovery or adventure. Without explaining a word to his friend, he resolutely continued to run away, as if rushing toward something urgent, leaving him bewildered and intrigued. Wolf, carefully watching what was happening, noticed that Rui was moving at such a speed that seemed inhuman, which caused his surprise and suspicion of his friend's mysterious abilities. After these words from Wolf, the main character sped up even more, as if embodying strength and energy that defied explanation and pushed him towards an unknown goal. After some time, as if called by an incredible force, they found themselves in place, as if they had overcome time and space, waiting for what would open before them in this mysterious location. The footprints they noticed led inside the building, as if inviting them to explore the secrets hidden within its hideout. After some thought, the guy decided that in this situation it was better to return the bottle, because he felt that the upcoming exploration of this mysterious place could take a lot of time and effort. Wolf, stunned by the development of events, could not understand whether this was the very barn they were looking for, or whether another mystery had opened up before them. The main character was impatient to get inside, as if his heart was beating in unison with the secrets hiding behind these doors, and he was eager to reveal their secrets. In the midst of their intriguing exploration, Charlotte, who had been searching for them all this time without success, suddenly appeared, disrupting their moment of excitement and solving the mysteries. She admitted that she had come here for their own sake, expressing deep care and concern for their safety, and wanted to be there to help and support them in their adventures. The girl said that she used magical power to search for their traces, as if contacting the outside world in order to find friends and be there in difficult moments. True, using magical power was not an easy task for her, and she admitted that it took a lot of effort to find them in this mysterious location. Finding themselves in this unusual situation before her, they instantly thought that Charlotte had come, perhaps with the purpose of catching them or returning them to the path of safety. They breathed a sigh of relief when they received a positive response from Charlotte, realizing that she was not opposing them, but on the contrary, wanted to help and support them on this mysterious journey. Today she was invited to the royal palace to be an instructor in magic for the warriors. Then suddenly a request came in to find them. These words clearly upset the protagonist, crushing his hopes and leaving him in a state of disappointment and misunderstanding. Wolf, not ready to give in to Charlotte so easily, felt an inner rebellion and determination to continue the research, despite all the difficulties and disappointments. However, from the girl's reaction, it was clear that she was not very serious about catching them, and perhaps even shared their desire to explore this mysterious location. Then she suddenly decided to help them completely, as if changing her original intentions, and they felt a surge of relief and support from Charlotte. After her decision to help, the main character hugged his friend tightly, feeling deep gratitude and joy that they could explore this mysterious world together. She was very embarrassed by this unexpected hug, but at the same time she felt in it the warmth and support that she had needed for a long time. Wolf decided to attract attention and began to talk animatedly, as if trying to diffuse the atmosphere and involve everyone in conversation to alleviate the awkwardness of the moment. He could not understand why the girl decided to help them because she was the granddaughter of a hero, and her valor could suffer if she continued to help such a beastman. She asked them not to consider his words nonsense, explaining that on the contrary, abandoning people in trouble hurts her valor, and her decision to help does not depend on how he is in her eyes. The guy did not hide the fact that he was slightly stunned by these words, feeling how the internal conflict began to dissipate, and he received support and understanding from an unexpected ally. It is not clear for what reason, but she suddenly took up her sword, as if preparing for something that might require her protection, and they were again enveloped in mystery and uncertainty. Then, feeling the growing tension, they decided to quickly end the situation, realizing that they had many challenges and mysteries ahead, and time was an important resource. Having opened the doors, they were stunned by what they saw, as if a world of wonders and secrets had opened up before them, and they were ready for new adventures and discoveries. There were a lot of expensive things there, impressive both in their wealth and elegance, as if they had entered a treasury that they had never even dreamed of. And inside it turned out to be even more spacious than Charlotte had thought. She appreciated the enormous possibilities hidden inside this place. By all appearances, the man inside was involved in shady dealings, and the guy was sure that many of the items here were stolen or acquired by dishonest means. Most likely, it was a secret warehouse of a group of thieves, where they stored looted treasures and valuables, and they found themselves in the very center of secret criminal machinations. The main character was sure that it was better to quickly inform the knights or other servants of the law about what they had discovered in order to prevent further criminal acts and restore order. And immediately after these words, gun barrels were pointed at them. They were suddenly surrounded by a threatening aura, and they realized that the situation had become even more complex and dangerous. They were surrounded by several dozen people, creating an atmosphere full of tension and hostility, and they found themselves in a conflict zone where choices and actions became decisive. A man approached them and asked if they were lost, as if trying to bring clarity to a difficult situation, and they felt a slight sense of relief, although they did not quite understand what was happening. His name was Ghoul, and he found himself the leader of this gang, managing all these people and the situation, and they realized that they were now dealing with an important player in this mysterious incident. According to their impressions, he is a fairly authoritative figure in the world of crime, which emphasized the seriousness of the situation and the need for caution in dealing with him. For some reason, the guy had doubts that this man was really the leader of the thieves, perhaps due to his unusual appearance or behavior, and this added to the mystery of the situation. He made good money from thefts, but the main character was determined not to let him make money from all this stolen property and believed that justice must prevail. He was determined to stop the thief and put an end to his illegal activities, even if it meant confronting an authority figure in the world of crime. The man suddenly felt that he seemed to have seen the main character somewhere, and his look at the young man became full of suspicion and bewilderment. Then, as if revealing some secret, he said that he was very lucky to see this young man, and his words aroused surprise and questions from everyone present. He did not think that his goal would come to him, and his attitude towards the main character became even more mysterious, leaving many unanswered questions in the air. Charlotte resolutely drew her sword and took a stance, preparing to defend herself, her determination clear despite the difficulty of the situation. Wolf was very angry that the man had stolen goods from the souvenir shops, which could expose him to suspicion and hostility from the locals, and he strongly expressed his indignation. The man couldn't even remember which gift shop he stole from, and his incredible carelessness and oversight added to the mystery of the situation. He did not deny that one of his subordinates seemed to have stolen something from there and did not see a huge problem in this. Then he began to mock and show where all this goods were. After these words, the guy now definitely won't forgive them and will tear them to pieces on the spot. The man realized that the guy seemed to have gotten it for this act. Taunting him, he offered to become his master as an apology. Wolf was shocked by this proposal and was already at the peak of his rage. He began to explain that he actually had one rich suitor for the guy. People quickly break down psychologically, so they are short-lived. Wolf's nerves could not stand it, and he was ready to tear everyone and everything to pieces. But the main character stopped him in time and thereby prevented a fight. He was sure that they simply wanted to anger him and he should not give in to it. He asked Charlotte to shut up because she was looking down on him. The guy asked him not to think about it because they don't think so. He's just talking nonsense. These words also slightly struck Wolf because he had apparently never heard such a thing before. After that, he really calmed down a little and came to his senses. The main character hoped that the guy had learned his lesson and understood everything. Wolf's gaze switched to Rui's bloody fist. He admitted that he would repay the man for insulting his friend. The man ordered his subordinates to deal with the guy because he sees him as a huge problem. The excitement for the fight lit up in their eyes. In addition, the man asked not to hit Rui in the face, thereby mocking him. The man realized that if he sold it to perverts who loved cute boys, they would pay a lot for it. It sounded disgusting. But after some time, the man's gaze changed very sharply. He was scared. His subordinates' fingers were broken in every possible way. The main character used a technique called golden shell and also finger removal. The man was very frightened by this and could not understand who was standing in front of him. Well, the main character was calm and noticed that the man's gun began to shake. In turn, he tried with all his might to show that he didn't care and was calm. And then he completely ordered to open fire. Well, the guy had an idea of what to use to protect them. He used a move called the crane. It was the first time Wolf had ever seen such a technique. And everyone present had already run out of ammunition. And now the friends had a chance, but they had to try not to damage the stolen property. Rui easily dealt with his opponents and did not see them as a danger. And Charlotte helped him at this time, as always. She asked to leave someone for her. Their team worked really unitedly and it brought results. Wolf was stunned by the sequence of attacks because they protect blind spots from each other. And after some time, everyone present was lying unconscious. The man had no choice but to shoot at the standing guy. Wolf turned away at that time and did not notice the bullet flying at him. In a split second, she should have approached the guy. When he already noticed this, he was very scared and did not know what to do. Rui noticed this too and realized that he needed to do something. The main character began to approach the guy in order to help him. And a split second later, screams were heard in the building and blood flowed. Wolf was informed that his arrival had long been anticipated, and the meeting was eagerly awaited, as if a harbinger of a long-awaited event. This time he was clearly late. Time flowed through his fingers like grains of sand in an hourglass, and the moment of meeting turned into an incredibly slow wait. Wolf, burning with curiosity, could not comprehend the reason for his invitation, like a mysterious invitation, unraveled only by slowly revealing riddles. He was led outside, seductively hinting at something mysterious, like a curtain rising before a mysterious performance in the evening light. The boys sought to demonstrate to their peers a creature like Wolf, as if lifting the curtain on an amazing and monstrous world hidden in the shadows. Then, as if in an unkind dance of fate, guns were pointed at him, creating a tense moment like a cinematic scene where a dark turn of events awaits resolution. For some unknown reason, Wolf was told that he was lucky, as if a mysterious happiness had seeped through the secret loops of fate, granting him unexpected luck. And at that moment it became clear to him that they were pursuing dishonest goals, like a secret conspiracy, and they were simply going to put him up for sale, like a commodity in a world of intrigue and betrayal. Their intention filled him with disbelief, like a foggy haze, and he could not realize that their plans were so permeated with darkness that it was difficult to believe in their reality. Being exposed to shock, he gradually turned his inner anxious impulse into a whirlwind of anger, like a flaring fire after the freeze of an unknown bustle. With a mocking grin, the guys asked him if he really believed that he could make friends with people, as if to undermine his confidence in his own hopes. After the incident, Wolf finally decided that he would no longer trust people, as if making a vow to himself in order to avoid such deceptions and betrayals in the future. But suddenly remembering how Rui saved him from a deadly bullet, he realized that even in the darkest moments, there is light, revising his previous beliefs with new hope.